I mean, first of all, I'm cutting down here because we don't do that. The transgender and all that. We don't do that.
I understand. I don't need to, but he's
And I don't appreciate you encouraging him to put on no dress for the second day too. I don't appreciate that. And don't think this is going away. I'm going further with this.
okay. You can go down and talk.
No,
to
I'm not done
Sheriff.
talking to you. I'm letting you know the next time that you put any kid in a dress, we're gonna make you go viral.
What's good, YouTube? This is KB LaFleur. You can call me KB. Welcome back to another video, man. We got a teacher who took it upon herself to put a dress on a little kid, a 2-year-old child. It's crazy. Hey, fathers, men, grandfathers, I want to know how would y'all feel if a teacher took it upon herself to put your child in a dress, your son at that. Your son in a dress. But before we get into that, man, do me a huge favor, leave me a like, leave me a comment, and leave me a subscribe. There are 3 teachers in this world. You have teachers who care, you have teachers who don't care, you have teachers that are trying to do their best to push an agenda. And we already know the agenda that I'm talking about. Since when did we start having teachers push this way of this lifestyle to our kids, right? Like I said, I'm not against it. I'm not against it. If that's what you want to do, then that's what you want to do. But at a very young age, there should be only one way. There should be only one way a child should be learning. There should be only one way a child should be thinking. But what I am saying is, we shouldn't be influencing our kids to do something, man, that can be detrimental long term, right? Times a lot of these grandparents want their children to have children the natural way, right? They want them to have a family. Right, we've been pushing this for years, for a lifetime. I'm talking about years. We've been pushing this since the beginning of time. Now a lot of things are changing, and that's cool, right? Get hip with the time, right? Not everybody wants to be dating the opposite sex. That is fine, right? That is fine. But once again, don't push it to the kids. For the past 20 years, every show, every movie has somebody in there, man, that likes the same sex. And like I said, hey, diversity, that is fine. But now it's getting to the point where they're pushing it into kid shows, right? And this is where people tend to be disingenuous and say, well, they're not influencing kids. They're not pushing this stuff on kids. They're not trying to push this stuff through shows and stuff.
I would not wish to upset such an unconventional beauty. Da 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 da.
What's happening? You are beautiful when you eat teeth.
You know how to make a girl feel special. Da 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 da.
Yes, 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 it is.
Man, that is nasty.
Look at Teen Titans. There was a show. There's an episode where they had 2 males, right? And you got to see him be like, man, damn, I don't want my kids looking at this stuff, right? But see, people would then sit up here and say, well, y'all have y'all kids watching Disney. Look at Disney. All they do is push a guy and a girl kissing. Yes, because they've been pushing that stuff since the beginning of time, since TV was even made, right? They've always pushed that. You're going to even still see that stuff till this very day, because that's the natural way of living. Now, once again, I'm not sitting over here saying you can't live your life the way you want to live. You can't sit over here and, date the same sex. Nobody's saying that. You can do that. But at a young age, you should be teaching kids one way of living, right? Now, once again, right, I say once kids get in middle school, they're going to have their way of thinking, right? That's when they're going to have their own personality. And I say, man, you know what? Hey, do your thing. But at the age of 2, in elementary school, preschool, you shouldn't be teaching kids that stuff. Teaching kids the wrong version of pronouns. Oh, well, hey, that one person could be a they and them. How? They and them means multiple people. Who hit you? Them. If somebody tells me them, that means, oh, okay, so that means I got to deal with them. I got to deal with multiple people then. If it's them, they are over there. That means that they, 1, 2, 3, 4, how many is over there? Now we're trying to say now we're trying to say that's singular. It's one person. It's an individual. Sasha could be a they. How? You know what I'm saying? How? That doesn't make sense. So now you're trying to teach kids this stuff, and these kids just have they're just ill-informed, right? They're just ill-informed. And we're trying to sit over here and say that we're not trying to encourage kids to think this way. We're not trying to, have kids think this way, have kids feel this way. We're trying to sit over here and make sure we're trying to make kids think that life is one way when it's really this way. And it's sad, man. We're trying to make everything acceptable. We're trying to make everything acceptable. And it's like, can't everything be accepted? Can't everything be accepted? Because that means if you're going to accept everything, you're trying to accept people being overweight, right? Because the second you sit over here and say, hey, you need to get into the gym, you're fat phobic. Now you're accepting unhealthy behavior. Now kids, listen, when we're kids, what did they teach y'all? What did they teach us? Be active. We're always outside. We're always running. We're always moving around. If y'all remember, man, back in the early 2000s, I think it was like Play 60 or Play 100 or something, right? Where they were advertising. They had like Michelle Obama running out here with other football players and stuff, NFL football players. They're pushing kids being active, right? Play 60, I believe. It's something like that. They're pushing kids to being active, right?
I promise to exercise and eat right.
Don't forget 60 minutes of play a day, right?
And I'll grow up to be big and strong like you.
Absolutely.
And play in the NFL.
Yes, sir.
Now they're just pushing video games. Oh, well, you can get rich off of playing video games. Now kids just want to sit in the house all day, play video games, right? So this is the agenda that's being pushed to kids today, and she's helping it.
Yeah. I'm telling you, she called me and told me that she had an issue up here about my grandson being in a dress. I mean, I'm trying to see what the issue is about that.
Okay, you'll have to talk to Dara.
Who's
She's the
Dara?
director. She's down in the other classroom.
Is she the one that was in charge of the kids while my grandson?
I was, but I can't talk to you
Why?
because you're not on the form. So we'll have to get Dara up here and see if she will let me talk to you about it.
I mean, first of all, I'm coming down here because we don't do that. The transgender and all that. We don't do that.
I understand. I don't need
And I don't appreciate you encouraging him to put on no dress for the second day too. I don't appreciate that. And don't think this is going away. I'm going further with this.
Okay, you can go down and talk.
No,
to
I'm not
Dara.
done talking to you. I'm letting you know the next time that you put any kid in a dress, we're gonna make you go viral.
Okay, you need to go talk to my director because I, as a teacher.
No, I'm letting you know I got an issue with you about that. I'm not playing with you.
I'm sorry that you feel that way.
Yeah, I'm sorry that you feel that way. But you should have called me before you made the decision to put my grandson in a dress.
Okay, you can speak to the.
No, I'm speaking to you.
Please do not talk to me in that tone with my children
I
around.
wouldn't be up here if you wouldn't have put my grandson in no dress.
Again,
Well, do what you got to
take it
do.
up with Miss
No,
Dara.
I'm taking it up with you.
Please lower your voice. You're in a classroom.
I'm
with
taking it up
children.
with you. Well, you shouldn't have put my grandson in no dress.
He's 2.
This ain't over with, all right?
And see, the thing is, man, she's trying to sit up here and say, hey, you need to talk to somebody else. First of all, no, you are the one that put the child in the dress. Why do I need to go talk to somebody else about something that you did to one of mine? That doesn't make no sense. That doesn't make no sense. That's like me committing a crime, and then I sit over here and like you come confront me, and I say, well, yeah, you need to go talk to the police about that first, right? Before you even come on and go talk to me, you need to go talk to them first. It doesn't make no sense, right? Why would you sit up here, put somebody else's kid in a dress? And this is the thing about it. Teachers take it upon themselves to do certain things, man, they know parents would not like, right? The small group of minorities feel like they can make a change worldwide, right? Where everybody's going to be exactly like them. And that's BS. And this is the agenda I'm talking about that they're trying to push. And the thing is, she's talking about he's 2 years of age. As if that makes it any better. That's worse. Kids at that age are very impressionable. You can tell them anything and they'll believe any goddamn thing. You can trick them to anything. I mean, they even tell you that. But people will be disingenuous and say there's nothing wrong with this. Oh, there's nothing wrong with a boy playing with girl dolls. No, you got to teach boys how to be boys and teach girls how to be girls. That's how life has always been, right? We're now more than ever, we having tons and tons and tons of feminine men. Tons of feminine men. painting their fingernails, right? Look, guys sit over here and say, guys, I said something in the comments on Instagram. You had dudes sitting over here defending putting on fingernail polish and stuff. I'm sitting here like, oh my gosh. So it went from wearing purses to now putting on fingernail polish to now dudes wanting to wear dresses and think that stuff is okay. Look, and they're saying none of that stuff is wrong, right? So imagine a guy walking down the street with fingernail polish, a purse, and a skirt, and talking about, bro, you know, I'm saying he from Zone 6, he from East Atlanta, he from New York. Imagine that. Imagine that. You'll be like, dude, I don't know, bro. Like, I don't know, man, if this dude a gangster or is he gangsterlicious? Because I mean, what is this? And a lot of men think that stuff is okay. But that's because look at what we are pushing in today's society, right? You putting a lot of soft men in a rap. Look at Playboy Cardi. Look at Lil Yachty. Look at Lil Uzi. A lot of these dudes tend to be soft. Let's be real. They have a lot of feminine features. Doing all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? And you got to sit over here and look at this stuff. You got to be like, man, what's going on here? And this is the stuff that is being pushed, being taught to our kids, right? Teachers like this are pushing this stuff to kids. And I understand we just did a video of teachers trying to be honest and teach life to kids. Trying to tell kids, hey man, this is what life is all about, right? Y'all sitting over here, man, thinking that y'all can just take shortcuts throughout your whole life and get to where y'all want to be. No, you can't do that. You can't do that. That's what they're teaching. You have one sitting over here saying, man, people trying to accept people being unhealthy. Like I just said earlier, you're trying to teach this stuff to kids. You're trying to teach unhealthy behavior to kids. Kids don't even freaking go outside no more. Kids just be sitting in the house all day playing games. Kids sit in the house all day, play games. Oh, I can't wait to go ahead and go home and play the game. Shoot, I remember, man, back in the day when we used to play games, you had to work hard to unlock something. Now all you have to do is just buy it. Kids just, hey mom, can I get $30? I'm trying to buy this skin. We're teaching boys to be feminine, right? And then see, the thing is, a lot of people have an issue with somebody like Andrew Tate. They have issues with somebody like Andrew Tate.
What do you say to young men who come to you for advice?
I say the most beautiful and the most terrifying thing about being a man is you're born without value. Society doesn't care about you. You're only going to be cared about based on how useful you are. You have the chance to build yourself up and become a superhero if you're prepared to do the hard work and be indefatigable enough to never quit. But if you're going to stand around and wait for a handout, nobody's going to ever respect you. And it's your duty as a man to stand up and say, I want to be as important and strong and good-hearted and God-fearing as possible, and I need to work hard to achieve those things.
But then they will sit over here and promote somebody like Dro Waffalo.
Hey, do y'all want to hear something nutty? That's the only way I can properly describe this. I get countless comments and stitches from dudes saying some variation of this. No, don't get me wrong. I totally support the message. I'm totally 100% on board with the message, but stop right there. You're either for it or you're against it. There's no fucking middle ground, bitch.
Either you're for it or you're against it. I think people can be in the middle. I think we can have nuance. I also think you can be a feminist and think Drew's a
Then it's followed up by this. She's just always body shaming. Why can't you talk about other things? Why do you always eye for an eye? How are they supposed to learn?
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you content that's inspired 8 million followers. What the fuck is wrong with the world?
Somebody, you know what I'm saying, Lil Nas X. All of these folks, we have all seen what Lil Nas X did, sliding down the pole. And we all know who his main audience is. It's little kids. It's little kids. And they're saying, oh, well, you know, man, if you don't want your kids watching that stuff, then hey. So it's just funny that you can sit over here and build your audience. You try to build your audience up around kids, right? But then when it's push come to shove, oh, well, you know, if your kid, well, if you don't like, man, what I'm doing, you know, tell your kids they don't have to watch me. That makes no sense, right? That makes no sense. I was like, somebody sitting here put me on, and then I go out here and act crazy, and I'm sitting on here saying, well, you know what, hey, they don't like it, they don't like it. You know what I'm saying? Close your eyes. It makes no sense. And this is what's being pushed. This is what's being pushed. Once again, right? For the people, man, that feel that, you know, it's a double standard, that, you know what, hey, y'all just being homophobic. Y'all will allow a man and a woman kiss on TV, and y'all kids look at that and watch that, but y'all won't allow two dudes kissing on the screen or two girls kissing on the screen. It's not that we're not allowing it, you know, but don't push it to the kids. kids don't need to see that stuff. Yes, kids need to see heterosexual shit because that's what life is all about. Just because you have a small group of people who like to live their life a certain way doesn't mean they need to project that shit for everybody else to try to accept. They shouldn't project that shit to kids. Right? We're about to have more feminine men than ever. We're about to have more masculine women than ever. It makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense. It makes zero sense. So y'all do me a huge favor, man. Leave me a like, leave me a comment, leave me a subscribe.